topics you would like. Good evening, brothers and sisters. I want to welcome you to BNEN 247. Today, let's talk about this. We need to stop. Let's talk about we needing to stop and not panic on what's happening with our society today. We need to stop and don't panic, and we need to control our spending. We need to figure out how to do a budget. If we don't already know how to do a budget, we need to start executing this budget and sticking to the plan. And the ultimate goal of this whole thing today, my friends on TikTok, as well as the rest of our guests, is to keep on living. They keep on living. And the strategy behind what we're talking about today is how to keep on living based on you not panicking about all this stuff going on in the world today, and start controlling your spending. Because that is where the problem is. Controlling your spending puts you in that same position at the end of the month, every single month. You got all these holidays coming up now. They're trying to go. They're taking it to the hoop. They're taking it to the hoop. This last quarter of the year, they're fixing to take you out. Christmas, Thanksgiving, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Valentine's Day, Easter, and so on and so on. They're going to take your money before the day is over. And if you allow it by not controlling your spending, you're in trouble. Today, I want to welcome my friend and my co-host to the Black News Network, the none and only Mr. Claude Foster. Thank you, sir.
Glad to be here, my brother. Interesting topics we're going to be talking about. Controlling our habits.
Woo! He who owns your habit, or he who controls your habit, controls you.
That's
simple as that.
That's complicated words because spending kind of defines who we are. We define ourselves by our worldly possessions. You know, our equality is tied to our spending.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know, our value is tied to our spending. This is America. Home of the free, home of the brave.
You sure going on with some historical words that ain't meant a thing in the whole time period.
Well, what I'm saying is,
Bobby G, I'll be calling names while you're talking, so don't mind me. I'm just recognizing Raz and Black Star and William and Tiger and all the people coming in, seeing
materialism defines who we are. You know, the kind of car we drive, the neighborhood we live in, the suits we wear, you know, kind of define who we are. And you're saying we're saying today on the program that we need to control that.
We got to control our spending. We must control our spending, because if we don't control our spending, we are not going to change the status of what's happening out here today. I mean, that's a big deal. We got a lot going on, and in order for us to fix that, it's going to take us to control something. We can't control but one thing, and that's what's underneath the bottom of our feet and what's within the control of our assets. And what you're saying, Claude, is that defines us. That tells America who we are by the kind of car we drive. So let's look at it from another perspective. Let's say I'm living at home with my mama, but I'm driving a G43 Mercedes, 1 to 2 years old. The car itself is worth what, about $65,000-$70,000, maybe more, or even more than that if it's 1 year old or a little older. But you're basically living at home with your mom, so you ain't got no mortgage payment. You're living at home with your mom, you ain't got no light bill payment. You're living at home with your mom, you ain't got no water bill payment. But you do have a car note, and an insurance payment, and a expense account that takes care of your gas, your running around going nowhere. You know, can you imagine how many people just drive around and ain't got nowhere to go? You know, if I move my car, I'm headed somewhere. Most people in that ain't thinking about the money they spend, they're running around in them cars with nowhere to go. You know, and then they run up on something, then they have a great time. That's what basically what we were talking about earlier. How we look at how we have a great time and how that defines our day. A great time ain't where we are right now, my people. We're in a position to do some damage, but we ain't doing jack nothing because we took initiative to do it. So I'm asking you and everybody else to join me and the rest of everybody else that want to do this boycott after Thanksgiving, even before Thanksgiving though. But go ahead.
It's too many black Santas out there.
Black Santas?
Yeah. You see, have you been in the stores lately? Seen all the black Santas?
We ain't got no black Santas out here.
Yes, you do. Ain't no black Santas in the stores in San Antonio?
I ain't seen a black Santa in San Antonio. Are you playing Christmas music?
No, I don't have no. Is something playing? Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, that's on my cell phone had popped up. But no, you haven't seen no black. You haven't seen all the black Santas in the stores.
I've seen a black man in a red uniform standing out there shaking a bell, but I didn't know that's what he was.
No, I'm talking about the black Santas that are for sale in the stores.
Oh.
They're all over the place this year.
Okay, all right. I got a question for you then. All right, you seen the giant nutcrackers?
Yeah.
What if they had a giant one that was black?
They do have them. I've seen them.
What do you call that one?
What do you call it?
Yeah.
I mean, I call it a nutcracker. What do you call it?
A giant nut. You get it, right?
No, I'm just.
You get what I'm saying?
I'm just saying you're asking a whole lot of black people this time of year.
And I was just telling a joke, man. That's all. We gotta make it fun sometime, But moving right along. What'd you say?
When you're talking about us and money and spending and identity and who we are as a people and how we represent, how we roll. I guess our show, depending on who our show is geared toward today, cause.
Well, it's geared toward us and our spending habits. I'm starting with not panicking, because what do? They creep up the hype on TV. Look at what they did with the toilet paper issue. They creeped up the hype on TV with you better get your ass some toilet paper. Excuse me for using that word. You better get some toilet paper because it's going it's going up. It's going up. We're running out of toilet paper, so you better buy. So people went out and they've had carts full of toilet paper over dumb stuff. And it was because they set it up that way to make it look like we were going to run out of toilet paper. Now, do you really think we ran out of toilet paper? No. Ain't no way. You got Mexico. You got all these other countries. Was it a world shortage on toilet paper? No. You got toilet paper in 1,000 different countries. How can you honestly think that America, the richest, the most powerful country in the world today, ran out of toilet paper?
But see,
that was a joke.
Well, it's a materialistic mindset.
Why couldn't it say toothpaste? You ran out of toothpaste.
They could.
Yeah, I'm saying it's BS, man. They make us spend our money. That's what I'm saying. We got to be able to control the thought process behind the spending that you're talking about right now. We're the ones spending the money. We're bringing $11.7 trillion into almost $8 trillion into the American economy every single year, and it has increased. It's probably twice that, but they're only allowing us to think it's 11.8 or $7 trillion. It's probably a lot more than that. I'm just saying what they tell us and what we read and what we research and find.
Right.
Right, straight BS. What's that straight BS? Somebody said Junior Gal said straight BS. You must have something on your. I'm saying this. You must have something on your mind, Junior Gal, because you got to be kidding me. You obviously have a great reason for wanting to put something so vulgar and foul and ignorant on TikTok that you're gonna come back and tell me what you're talking about. So I'm waiting on it. Anyway, where were we? Yeah, man, these people put stupid stuff on just to get engaged with, just to get conversation because they probably don't talk to nobody. So that's okay. I just
What point?
all right. Junior Gale says you shared the live. All right, Junior Gale, I'm sure you coming back, but go ahead. Go ahead. What'd you say, Claude?
What point was she trying to make? I'm confused.
Okay, Junior Gale said I agree with you saying the toilet paper was a joke. Well, take
Oh,
back
okay.
all I said. I'm so sorry, but you got these days you got to talk. If you're gonna write, you need to write. Don't say short things that could be taken either direction. And it
Right.
was taken in a negative way because that's kind of what you see on some of these platforms. So I'm sorry for not saying anything. It was take everything back and direct it to that other person over there. So that's how quick I can rebound, and I hope you can too. Thank you so much, Junior Gale. Junior Gale said she's not a negative person. She came back and said what she really meant. He said it was a misunderstanding. She said she agreed with saying that toilet paper was a joke. Thank you so much. I'm sorry for my comments, but you know what I just said.
Yeah, but you
Anyway,
but, but but you do bring up important points about our spending habits and how we, you know, I mean, you've been at the supermarket and seen somebody with an EBT card purchasing necessary stuff, but then they use that cash. They're using that cash to buy stuff that I would consider extravagant in terms of
hmm like
extra.
buying some Colorado wine or some
Yeah, some
some
some.
something that should not be bought on I don't know what kind of card the spending card that the government give you when they subsidize your income. The
Oh,
one thing I do want to mention though, they cut out WIC and they were not giving people SNAP benefits, and people act like they just was gonna starve. They even had a black woman on TV. Oh, I'm not gonna eat today, and I'm gonna starve. You know, I do have sympathy for that. My heart goes out to her, and I just don't think that the average person is in that condition.
well,
Now, if you're in that condition, I gotta be cleared up, Claude, because people get me the wrong way. If you're in
go
that
ahead.
condition, you're in that condition. But some people are not in that condition and want to act like they in that condition.
But
You got family. If you got family, you got friends. Huh?
but we got to be careful about who we talking about here. Are we talking about black people in general? Who are we?
Mm-mm.
Who are we talking about when we talking about watching your spending and controlling? What who are we talking about? The people on welfare? Are we talking about people on get sub,
Well,
insurance? Who are we talking about today?
right now, we're talking about the black middle class to lower class individuals. We
Okay, we
can't. Anybody that's spending money that's making in the millions and the hundreds of thousands of dollars, ain't nothing that can be told to you because you're gonna do what you're gonna do. I'm talking about people that are just trying to make it, and I ain't talking about nobody else. People that are just trying to make it every single day. It's so hard for the average person to get out of that cycle, though. That's what I'm talking about. If you're in the same place you were in last year, on November 14th, 15th, then something you need to pull yourself outside of your life and take a look at what you did for 12 months or 11 months to put you in a category
right, right.
that didn't take you to another, where you got 15 or 20 more dollars in the bank. Even if it ain't much, it's something. You cannot allow yourself to be doing the same thing you were doing last year this year.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm saying. Try and flip the script. If you only have to save $1 a day and have $50 at the end of the year that you save, 365 $4 or how many of a day, whatever the day number is today. It's hard to change the way you live, but you have to make a change if you plan to live in this new world society, because things are changing every day. The same soda that we used to buy for a nickel now costs you $1.679 on average. You might be able to get it cheap at Sam's, that you still get that that Walmart where you get that hot dog and soda and stuff. That's
Right.
about the best deal going in town, because the price has always been $1.50 or $1. It used to be $1 25, 30 years ago. But with the way things are going now, even Starbucks, all us uppity black folks that love to hit Starbucks and pay $7 for a cup of coffee,
It just tastes
that's
different.
yeah, it does taste
I mean, if,
different.
if you go to if you go to Starbucks and get a cup of coffee, and then you
Mm,
go to like your neighborhood service station and get a cup of coffee, there's
there's a
no
difference.
compare. There's a difference.
The only difference is the who makes it. They know how to make coffee. They know how to put it together to put the right ingredients in there. It's still coffee, and it still does the same thing,
But
because
you're
we
right though.
survived for hundreds of years without Starbucks.
Without start,
Yeah.
and you're right.
You know how
A
many
cup of coffee,
Starbucks stores there is right now?
thousands of them.
Over 30,000, over 35,000 stores. And by the end of 2025, Starbucks had, since we talking Starbucks has plans to close over 20,000 stores.
Happening is now. I live in Houston,
Hmm.
or in the Houston metro area, and I'm
Hmm.
trying to think of all the Starbucks that are in black communities.
Freddie Jackson. Yeah, go ahead. Is a lot. They putting Starbucks in the black community now.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a beautiful thing.
Well, you have always been able to
Nathan,
get
what's up, Nathan? Huh?
you have always been able to get Starbucks cards in the dollar store in the
Yeah,
black
I
community.
seen those cars everywhere.
Yeah, in the black community, they don't not the store. I was critical of that. Being
Hmm.
able, selling Starbucks cards in the dollar store without
You can't get
investing
them in
in
the
brick and
store.
mortar.
You can't get them in Starbucks.
No, but what I'm saying, my point was, you can sell your card in the black community, but you can't put your store in the black community.
Oh, where the dollar stores are.
Well, I
Well,
mean,
they put one in on the east side of San Antonio, but there's a couple nearby. Actually, I know two Starbucks stores on the east side of San Antonio.
where
So,
where
so,
are they
huh?
where are they located?
One is on 90, right before you get on. Well, when you get off on Houston Street, you get off of 90, go on Houston and Commerce Street. It's right there. One is right across. It's not far from the Foster Center, the AT&T Center where the Spurs play at now. It's
Oh,
not far from that. And
oh,
then the
the
other one,
wait, the Spurs don't play over at the Freeman Coliseum?
next door to the Freeman Coliseum. It used to be the AT&T Center up until a couple of years ago. It became the Frost Bank Center. So now they play at the Frost Bank Center.
Okay, and they built the
Same
Starbucks over
place
there?
though. Huh?
And they built the Starbucks over there?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a Starbucks right up the street, but it's right in the middle of the military base and the Frost Center. There's a
Well, no,
and right across,
the
huh?
military base is across 35.
Yeah, it's right before you go across 35 on the basketball side, on the center side.
But I don't really consider that the black community up there.
Yeah, that's the affluent black community.
Well, I mean, it's on the fringe of the black community. It's not in the black community. But I get your
No, it's
point.
not down on the east side.
Right.
What's up, David? Edward, good to see y'all. Thank you for the hearts. Whoever sent them, appreciate it.
Oh, somebody sent hearts.
Yeah, that's just showing that they love your show or respect your show, and thank you so much for saying that. Um, I was talking about Starbucks. Also, this is something that people know. They went on strike yesterday on Starbucks. By the way, 65 stores went on strike, which gave me let me see how many stores they have. So I looked it up and found out that Starbucks got those 35,000 stores. And I also found when I was reading the article that Starbucks will be closing more than 20,000 stores or up to 20,000 stores because they want by the end of 2025, by the way. So what that means is there's a ton of baristas losing their jobs. What that also means is those 65 stores going on strikes don't mean nothing to Starbucks because they got a backlog of people trying to get jobs in Starbucks. So go on strike. We'll fill our stores with new people anyway. We wanted to get rid of y'all. So they are basically they're not budging on their contract, and the 65 stores, the people are not budging either. But if they want to close those stores, I mean, they doing Starbucks a favor. You know what I mean? So we got to strategize and we got to think and we got to see the painting on the wall. Right now, those 65 stores were not, to me, they were not reading what Starbucks was up to. This just like we're not reading what this current administration is up to. We're not seeing the real picture here. Only thing we're seeing is smoke screens on every level,
Well, what I
every
do see,
single level, huh?
what I do see in this administration, and I think all people, we should be concerned about what's happening in Venezuela. They're just killing black people from the skies, left and right. And then Trump just announced that they're not going to participate in the G20 summit in South Africa because of the way the South Africans are treating, allegedly, the white South Africans. I mean, the guy's attacking black people around the world, man.
Well, that's I don't see nothing that's unpredictable about what you just said because
That's true.
I look at this as we're in the worst possible situation right now as who we are as the melanated people, and I can't call myself black or I call myself African American because that's not what we are. And I've accepted that fact, and I'm trying to spread that around. We're not that. So when America does what it does, I'm not surprised. You say you believe in the 14th Amendment, you stuck on the 14th Amendment, giving everything to us, but when was it ratified? When was it ratified? Can one of y'all out there in TikTok land tell us, your listeners and your friends, when was the 14th Amendment ratified? That's a great question, I think. But back to where we are, this spending stuff is taking us to another level because many of us don't realize it that there's so many things coming at your job right now today that you ain't got no idea what's about to happen. This AI, artificial intelligence stuff, tell me something it can't do. In relations to computing the I's and the O's.
Make no doubt. Why you think the Trump administration said we're not going to tax tips? Won't be no people getting tips because it'll be all AI.
You're gonna be robots waiting your table, taking your orders.
Yeah, it won't be no tips. That's why he
That's
getting rid
that's
of it.
that's where it's headed. They're putting robot operated cars on the highway, which ran over a cat, by the way, the other week. Somebody
Are
getting
they
sued
are they
because of
intending
that.
Are they
Huh?
in San Antonio? And would you ride in one?
Hell, I'm kind of, I don't want to say old school, but when you got more years on this earth than you got left, then you
You
don't
ain't
play
taking that kind
those.
of chance. You ain't taking
Yeah,
that
some
kind
of
of
these
chance.
chances you just ain't gonna take no more. And getting
Well,
in a driverless car is one of them.
well, it may come a day that you still be that we both still be here. That would all be available. Driverless
And I take
taxis.
I wouldn't care. I just if I needed to go somewhere and that's all I had an option for, I'd have to take it. That's how we roll.
Yeah.
That won't stop us from getting from point A to point B. We have to get there. So I would do it. I would take a car like that.
You know how much how expensive is it cheaper than a person would be driving? Is the cost to ride cheaper in a driverless car?
I pretty much doubt it. As a matter of fact, I was behind one in Austin on my motorcycle, and the car did what it was supposed to do. For went through like 5 or 6 traffic lights, and didn't cause any issues. There was other cars around, and it stayed in its lane and put signal lights on and waited for its time to get over and all that kind of stuff. So I have no complaints about automotive those type of cars, but I do have complaints about them taking the job of a taxi driver. Just like, see, look at what's happening in all these supermarkets like HEB, Walmart, uh, uh, any other grocery store chain, any other. You bagging your own stuff, you're putting your own gas in your car, you're doing your own everything, but they give you an option to bring somebody in or to bring in to let somebody else do it for you. And that's what I'm seeing. Everybody puts that out there. You can do your shopping online. You don't even have to go to the store, but you're paying more for these services. And these same services used to be done by people, which I love letting going to finding a lane where there's a person working. I don't even like calling people that's got a robot answering their phone for them because that's not. I don't want to talk to that robot, so I'm hitting zeros. I punched as many as 50 zeros trying to get the robot to realize I ain't talking to you.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to talk to the robot, so I'm zeroing it out. You gonna either put the person on the phone or you gonna hang up because I ain't talking to you. And
Is it
then
because of the robots? Is it because of the robots non humanity, or you just don't feel like the robot is?
I think a robot is a robot is a robot, and that robot then took somebody's job. And I'm not
I
talking to
follow
a
you.
robot. So and same with Walmart. I'm not going through the quick checkout, even if I got one item. I'm waiting in line, and I've developed myself to a patience that it's going to take me longer to get out.
I got
So
you.
I'm going to have the time to wait because I'm not that bit much in a hurry where I need to bag my go do my own shopping, check
Thank
out,
you.
pay my own stuff, insert my payment method, and tell the machine what type of method and all this is, and then bag my own stuff, and then roll it out to my car and put it in my car, and then drive it to my destination, and then take it out my car. Oh shoot, here we go again. You know,
that
it's too much.
you put since you put it that way, it's a lot.
It is too much. So I'm not putting myself in a position where this is what I have to do all the time. So I rather at least let them keep doing something, and that something is I'm gonna as long as I can go through a register with somebody on it. That's where I'm going. Whether they, I don't care. And then you know what? Before it's over with, there's gonna be robots standing at those registers, moving your stuff down that line. That's where we're headed. So everybody out here in listeners land, if you got a job in the service industry, the target is you. They're looking right at you. They're going to take your positions and test this AI system on your position. And think about it now. I wrote a couple of notes about AI. What is it that the AI process does? What does AI do? AI, for one, it reclaims a person's time. Artificial information technology is developed to reclaim a person's time. So, how do you reclaim a person's time? You take on all the monotonous stuff that a person does, and you take this and transfer to a robot, and the robot will do that miscellaneous excess stuff that you do. Like while driving down the road. So now they've taken robots and created them to robot cars. That's what it is. A car is a robot. They created robot cars to drive down the road to keep you, to let your mind be occupied by something else other than watching the cars on the road. The car does that for you. So you don't have to keep up with all that kind of stuff. Good to see you, Naomi. I'm glad that you are joining us live here on BNN 247. Also, this AI is going to do a second thing. You know how you get home and your child is at home thinking about, I can't wait till dad get home so he can show me how to do this algebra or this math or how to write this sentence or tell me what paper I should write or what project I need to build. AI is going to take on that responsibility where when that AI gets to your house or when that AI is
It's
operating in your
already
house,
it's already
your
there.
child is going to be at the door or at the bus stop waiting on your child.
Mm.
Making sure your child get to the house and don't let somebody try to mess with your child while he's going back to the house. AI is going to handle that. Same with in school. You're going to send your child to school and there's going to be an AI robot watching over your child while he's in school or she's in school. And what are you going to do? I mean, this is all going to be free to you. What's that movie Will Smith was in? Well, they were giving everybody a free robot. A robot in the kitchen chopping up carrots like a party going east.
Well, you think everybody will have access to AI?
I don't think not right away, but right now people have access to AI and they're using it. It's already here, Claude. When
I
we
mean,
find out about it, it's already here.
no, I mean,
Well, it's old news right now for some people.
no, but I mean, nothing in society is ever distributed equally. People at the bottom of the well don't have access to certain things.
That's that's
It,
that's
it,
how. That's
is
right.
AI going to be the same, or is AI going to close that inequality gap?
No, not at all. What we're going to get, Claude, we're going to get leftover AI. We're going to start just like we got old school books. We're getting leftover AI technology that's already been used and figured out, and they know every in and out of the butt about it. And also, the AI that we get is going to have tracking mechanisms implanted where whatever we do with it is going to be known. So don't think that because AI is new is going to be new to us, that it's going to be true to us because it's not. I think if you got a mattress with a hole in it, you just need to still keep using it. You know what
So,
that means, right?
so AI is
Uh,
not going to close the inequality gap. No, I
no,
missed that one.
no. AI gonna deepen the inequality gap because AI is replacing the part that keeps people competitive. That would keep people with the ability to be competitive. They're not competitive because they haven't been able to get out of this bullcrap cycle that they're stuck in. You stuck in this revolving circle every single year because you're getting a 79-cent raise or a 1.1% increase in your pay for the annual pay for the year. That ain't nothing. That's 13 cents a day. You don't need that. Just like that $300,000 they gave to the Baptist Union, the Baptist court, whatever it was.
Baptist convention.
The
Target, yeah.
Baptist convention, $300,000. That was $12 a church. Sad, but true. So I don't see it as doing that. Let's see what else I wrote down. They're going to educate our children, and they're going to do it a lot faster than we do it. They're going to be seniors at 10, seniors in high school. It's going to be what is it though? I really had to get to the point where what is AI? AI is math. That's what it is. It's mathematical calculations at the million item level. In other words, they can calculate the same problem 1 million times faster than the human brain. That's what AI does. And so how do we combat? We can't combat that. AI is smarter than us. It's greater than us. So we have to create a system where we gotta start focusing inward now, because all this show and tell, you buying a car and you going out there spending $2,000, $4,000 on tires or rims for this car. Now, if you got millions to throw away, then I ain't talking to you. I'm talking to that brother that's living paycheck to paycheck that spend $2,000 on rims and tires. And then the worst part about all that is you never get to see them. You never get to see them rolling. I'll put it that way. You always sit in the car. You can't see what you just bought or what you just did. So why are you so apt to go spend $2,000 on rims and tires that you can't even see rolling?
Because
And the tire is designed to roll.
because as black people, the black people that we're talking about on the show today, we're defined by materialism. So
But that's what we're trying to
unwind, yeah.
the change. We're trying to put out the information to change a person's perspective of
Who they are,
status,
yeah. Status.
because your status is already established. You don't your tires on your car, your money in your pocket, you flashing $10,000 or throwing away more money at the strip club than anybody else. It does not define your status. Your suit, your haircut, your looks. You can look any way you want to look, and it doesn't matter, because it does not change your status. You're the same individual. The only thing change your status is how you handle the dollar. And you keep throwing this thing. It's harder for the camel to go through the eye of a needle than a rich man to go to heaven. You can throw that up all you want to, dumb. You don't need to be concerned about going through no daggum needle. You don't need to be worried about the rich man going through the needle.
But let me
What
ask
you
you,
need to be worried about is your check lasting to the end of the month.
well, what's your thoughts on all these of late white people giving money to these HBCUs?
Guilt. They're not giving their money. They're giving the HBCUs their own money. That's money that they have taken from them HBCUs. You ever asked the question, Claude? Why would you create a system of abuse and torture, neglect, and prisoners of war for 400 years, and then all of a sudden, I'm so sorry. Here's a $20,000 donation to your HBCU for my mistakes I made towards
Well,
you. But I'm not giving up my land that I took from your granddaddy. I just killed him, and that's the tree I hung him on over there. So I can't turn that back, but I'm gonna give you 20,000, and that way I'm trying to settle my debt before I go on to my maker.
so you think it's that? You think that's
Huh?
what the you think that's
It's
what the
that
motive?
that is the mentality, Claude. These people don't think they did nothing wrong. Well, they don't think that they have held our entire race back.
So the 47 million that the Houston Tillerson just got is come from that place.
It's from our money that they owed us, or that was ours already. They ain't giving us jit. They ain't giving us a dang thing, Claude. They are that's money that you should have gave us beforehand. Just like this is the same scenario I told people before. I worked for a company, a white company, for 6 years, and they were paying the dumbest WB in the company that had the same job as I had 10 grand more than me, and I'm a bachelor's degree at the time. Why are you paying him 10 grand more than me, and he
Did
got
he have?
two?
Did he have a
Huh?
degree? Did he have a degree? The
He
other guy.
he could have. I don't know. I don't. I doubt it.
Now you brought
I
up the fact
doubt
that
it.
you had one. Yeah.
I had one. I don't think he had a degree, but they were paying him 10 grand more than they were paying me. If he had a degree, he wouldn't have been so stupid as to put his pay voucher in my garbage can in my office. That's kind of stupid. Unless he was trying to show me. Maybe he
You think?
was.
You think it was?
Why are you going to do it that way when you can just hand it to me if we're in the office? I don't think he knew what he was doing because I went in the trash can,
Mm.
and I don't blame you. You got to know. And I found out how much he made, and I confronted my bosses. And then my boss gonna try to slide me $10,000 check, or not check, but a raise. And you think that satisfied me? Hell to the no. I'm gonna say that. Hell to the no, it didn't. Because here it is, we've been here over 2 years, 3 years now. You've been paying this man more than me, but now you just gonna equalize our pay? You got me effed off or effed up. Because that ain't gonna happen.
He didn't want to give you the back pay,
Yeah, he just want to give me that. So
and he never would have gave you that if you hadn't approached him, right? Because you the one found out. He didn't come to you and say, "Look, we've been paying Smitty
mm,
$10,000 less than we paying."
they knew it all along. They
They
knew it.
had to. They had to.
And I had 30 some people working for me, and he had two because he did the graveyard shift.
Wow.
So with that, uh, um, we made the adjustment, and not even 90 days later, I got laid off.
Wow.
But I didn't get laid off by myself. They laid the entire department off. They outsourced it. So that's how it goes sometimes.
You could have been. You was the nucleus of that.
Yeah, I was raising
That's
too
what.
much sand. I was
That's what.
raising sand.
That's what. Yeah. He said we just
I
we just
walked
don't
away
know about.
good though. I
Yeah,
walked away
because
good.
he couldn't just get rid of you because you could have sued,
Hmm.
but you caused him to get rid of a whole department.
Yep. And I walked away with an entire year's salary. So I was okay with that. I didn't fuss at all. Let me out of here. I'm good.
He was glad
So
to
I
get rid
left
of you. But yeah, but getting back to the subject at hand though about controlling our spending, controlling our habits.
and not panicking. Yeah.
How do you do that? If our
Well,
if our value, if
there's
our
certain ways it can be done.
identity,
Go ahead.
I'm just saying. I mean, I'm just saying that we're not judged individually. We're judged collectively. We're judged as a race of people. Warren Smith-Bey is not judged as Warren Smith-Bey.
Right.
Warren Smith-Bey is judged as every other person, say like in your hometown of Mississippi. You're
Hmm.
judged by that standard, or by that
Hmm.
holistic, not your individuality.
I think the only way we can get control of our spending habits is to number one, do something together as a people.
Oh, that's a
And
hell of
and,
a.
and let me explain, Claude. Because you probably saying, "What the hell? What is he talking about?" Do something as a group. In other words, if all black people decide that we're gonna not gonna participate in Black Friday, then we got something to work on. I mean, there's hundreds of people out here now talking about not participating on Black Friday.
We couldn't
In
keep
other
black
words,
folks out of Target.
huh?
We couldn't keep black folks out of Target.
No, we couldn't because I know one person that just won't stay out of Target. I mean, we can only try, and we can only put the proper word out here. saying that the only way we can control our spending, Claude, is to not spend at all. Only what does control mean? The control means is to possess, so to dominate, to manage, to control, to be in possession of. And you're only in possession of, and you only can dominate and control or manipulate the dollar that's in your hand. You can't manipulate my dollar.
We grew up in a family of six watching a
Mm-hmm.
13-inch TV. Now I gotta have an 82-inch TV to watch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Why? I'll tell you what blew my mind. One Thanksgiving, it was about this time one year, I decided I wanted to deliver turkeys in the projects.
Why?
So
Okay. Why turkeys?
I have no clue, no reasonable explanation for that, and I apologize for doing it because I don't understand why turkeys. Nobody want no daggum turkey
Now, did you do this as a business owner? Was this
as a social
right
organization
as a social?
person.
Okay. Okay.
So I take the turkey. I got about five turkeys, right? So I'm going door to door, boom, 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 turkey. Here you go to this address, next address, boom, 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 next address. By the time I got to the third address, boom, 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 they open the door, and they TV in there was bigger than mine. They had a big old amusement center, big 99-inch TV. Looked like this was 20 years ago, 15 years ago. It looked like they had a biggest TV I ever seen. And I hadn't even seen that TV that big in the store.
Well, you don't have to go that. You don't have to complete the story. We
Mm,
talk about the crisis we're in today, right?
mm,
You go to a food giveaway and look
mm.
at the cars that are pulling up with the trunks open.
Oh, it ain't no raggedy cars. You got Escalades, you got Mercedes, you got Jaguars, you
Now,
got BMWs.
talk to that.
Woo! It's almost you got to look at greed too. A lot of times I'm picking up for my nephew. He needs it in his house, but the thing is, nephew lives with them. I'm picking it up for my granddaughter. My daughter ain't got no food in her house. You're a daggum lie. You picking it up for yourself, and then the worst part about it, you leave that pickup point, and you
And go to
go
the
over
next.
to the next one, and you leave that one. Some people survive just off everybody else in that manner. Like when school supply time come around,
Oh yeah, that's another
we were
key.
serving up to 5,000 people a year. On a whole weekend, we do at least 3 to 5,000 people, and we were recording every name. And the thing is, the way I figured out what they were doing, because we took some backpacks out to somebody's car, and they had the trunk open, and the
Full of
trunk was
backpacks.
full. It was full of backpacks.
They didn't have that many
So
children.
I took all my backpacks back. I ain't give them.
You did?
I took, yeah,
But they
because they were wrong. They going from place to place to place. When everybody, the only thing they doing is surfing the newspaper, surfing the web, surfing everything, looking for back to back to back school supply distribution centers or food supply distribution. So they're doing the same thing with food, and why not? It's free. Going to the food bank, it's free. Going over here to the church, this church is free, that church. Well, these three churches are giving away free fish plates today, so we can eat lunch over there. And then they're having a free canned good giveaway over here. We can pick up that box there.
but
And
this
then
is
the
the
radio
key.
stations doing this, we can pick up over here too. Huh?
See, and the truly needy don't
They're
they
suffering
ask they're
because
suffering.
they don't have the cars, they don't have the transportation, they don't have the communication coming their way. You're right. The truly needy people suffer because they don't have access. And whose fault is that? You know, whose fault is it that black people and anybody else can't get out of debt nowadays? Why
But it
would
goes
black people have more than $2,000 of debt when they don't have their own home or their own car or Why would you be in debt when you don't have the assets needed to survive? Why can you not afford a car? I mean, there are so many people that can't afford a car and they go out and try to get a car and they got to get it at 32% interest,
Right.
which is damn near half of the car note or what it originally what you would really be paying for it is over half of that, almost half of that.
Because because look at the businesses that are in our black communities. Look at the payday lenders. Look at the
All right, Cotton Bowl, huh?
look at the look at all the people that lose their cars when they go down and get payday car loans,
Ooh, title loans,
title loans.
and I think I don't know. I've been in that situation. I ain't gonna lie, I've been there. I know about them title loans.
And
I've
you
had
see
to
the
do it before.
and you see the interest they charge.
Yeah, you really can't pay it if you don't pay it right away. You're gonna get if you don't pay it right away, you're gonna get taken quickly. So if you have one of those out, you better go and pay it and get your car back because they're gonna end up taking your car because you only gonna pay the interest on that loan, and you never gonna really accumulate that much money to pay it off.
Yeah.
Even credit cards, they beat you down with that too with the interest. You mess around and don't pay it off every single month, then now all you can pay is interest, and you only need to pay $25 when your card is steady going up,
Yeah.
and you end up with all this money on your credit card. If you got a credit card and it's maxed out, then you got an issue going right now. I mean, it's hard for you to come out of that situation. If you got more than three credit cards that are maxed out, I don't. The only option I can tell you is file for bankruptcy because you're going to end up paying your entire paycheck, your entire salary to credit
Car
cards.
credit card
You
interest.
know, you got to pay your credit cards off every single month because the interest will tear you a new behind.
Yeah.
The interest ain't right. Some of these things as top stories that we didn't get to cover, and then I'll come back.
Well, I got a
Yep.
couple. I would get your comment on.
You want to go first?
Well, I wanted to. I just wanted to talk about that case, the redistricting case, right?
Hmm.
That's still pending, and I just wanted to say, and I don't like saying this, but I think our allegiance to this a single party has doomed the Voting Rights Act. I
What do
think
you mean?
I think the court has said that it's not going to get involved in partisan court fights, right? Meaning that if you
What's up, Miss Nigga?
meaning that if like in Texas, right,
Uh,
with this redistricting, okay, the my old district, the ninth congressional district,
hmm
was a coalition district, meaning it had blacks, Hispanics, Asians, and what have you, right?
hmm Taz, welcome, Taz.
Texas just got rid of it. Congressman
Jones,
Green
Jones.
is no more, and
Say
so
that again. What's no more?
the ninth congressional district,
What Jasmine Crockett was.
no, where Al Green was,
Okay, Al Green.
and
They eliminated his district.
what I'm saying is, it, it's not really that complicated. I think I'm making it a little bit more complicated. They they created a district that's got 61% Hispanics, right?
Uh huh.
61% Hispanics,
Mary,
okay?
Keith, good to see
No,
y'all.
not 61% Hispanic, meaning they got 61 people that are Hispanic. That don't
Out of
mean
everyone,
that don't mean that they're voters. That don't
Thomas.
mean that they're citizens. So you
Mm,
can have a district with 61% Hispanic, but it's not going to be a majority minority district. It's going to be
mm,
a
Java.
white Republican district because that 61% Hispanic, they're not registered to vote, they're real young, or they're not citizens. So you
So you
so
saying out of
basically
that 61%, they're not gonna get a good vote out of it. It's not gonna be enough people in there registered to vote.
right. So a Republican gonna win that seat.
Tyrone.
A Republican gonna win that seat, and the Supreme Court gonna say probably say that's okay because they're not going to get involved in trying to decide what party wins and what party loses. They're not going to get involved in partisan politics. That's one thing that I think is kind of is going to play out negatively for us as a people. And then I like to talk about Texas A&M comeback. They was down 30-3 at halftime. How did they come back?
You know I ain't on that. I can't.
And then Alabama lost to Oklahoma at home.
But what about the New York Jets and the Patriots?
What happened on that one?
I don't know. I saw the beginning. The New York Jets started out strong, but I don't know. They were down by halftime, I guess.
And
You know,
the other thing I want
how they do? Hmm?
and the other thing I want to mention was the 83 Venezuelans killed by our government so far
On boats.
on both 83. So
And they're trying to get other countries to join in with them on killing people on boats. I'm sorry, unaliving people on boats.
now they're in international
Arthur
waters.
Williams, good to see you. Huh?
They were in international waters. But
Yeah.
don't the United States have to get permission before they go out killing people?
They don't ask permission from nobody. They know it's international waters and they do what they do. I mean, I for one, cannot
80, but
say
83
what the
people,
U.S. government can and cannot do. I don't know.
83
I shouldn't.
people, 83 Venezuelans they didn't kill.
That's what they say. If they say 83, I guarantee you it's 183.
Okay. Well, 83 is the official number.
It's never right. You know, ain't no rightness about it.
And the vice president was going to go to Africa to the G20 summit, but Trump said ain't nobody going.
Well, like you said, they're not treating white folks right in Africa, which ain't nothing but oxymoron because look how long they didn't treat black people right.
And
You know,
they're not mistreating. They just
GG. Who's a senior citizen? Somebody's got senior citizen coming on here.
okay.
Senior citizens. All right, so our topic today is like, don't panic out here, y'all. We're getting close to an hour, so we're going to kind of pull in some issues. One, Claude has some concerns about the 83. The official count is 83 people being killed on these boats, and where do we stand as Americans on that issue? To me, there's no way we can justify doing what we're doing out on the sea. You know, it's a decision made by our administration, and the only thing we can do is be happy about it because ain't nothing we can do about it. And it would not be anything beneficial for anybody in America to try and fight it because it'll be a lifelong journey to get a change, and you'll never get a change on that. So I don't try and change the things that are out of control because you're just wasting your time. I don't even think about half the things that are out of control. I report those things and move on. And I think that's a good way to deal with crisis situations like that. Epstein, they still haven't completely released all the files on him. So that's something we're dealing with right now. It ain't very much you can do about that either, or I can do about it either. Ain't very much anybody can do about it because that is such a quagmire of confusion that who knows what's going to happen next with the Epstein files. And you already know who's in charge of all of it. And it's only one person. And that
I
one
guess
person, huh?
people like Bill Clinton and all the other people that were friends with Epstein, why haven't they said anything?
Well, because they're not the target. And who's bringing those other names up? The target is. So why would he not try and go down by me? If I'm going down, I'm taking y'all with me. That's what basically his mentality. He has no no scruples of negotiation or politics or anything concerning dealing with the reality of communication. That's not something he's strong in. That's not something he's going to do.
Mm.
Epstein is just a big quagmire of stupidity and deception, and it's going to continue for another 2, 3 years, I bet. The rumor has it is that the tariffs for many countries have been lowered,
Yes.
and in reality, let me go back us all the way up for a second. The whole purpose of these tariffs being lowered now is because prices have been raised at least 25 to 45%, which is where America, rich America, wanted to put their profits. In other words, their profits were not at the level that they wanted them to be. So how do you do it? You do these fake tariffs all across the world and create havoc all across the world and create everybody in a quagmire and fit and fight to get get their prices up to match the tariffs that they're going to impose. And then once you get the prices where you want them, then you remove the tariffs, but the prices stay up. Oh, we let the prices down by 10%, but they're still high. 10, 20, 30, 50% higher than they were before the tariffs even started. Either way you look at it, you're paying more on a product no matter how much they lower the tariffs now. Because it's not for you, the consumer. It's not for you, the black consumer. It's for them, the rich and the wealthy. So this little tariff thing that's happening right now ain't got a jack dadgum thing to do with you. It is what it is, and they've already gotten the profits that they're looking for. And they're gonna keep getting those profits because we keep buying their product. Because
So
we
you
don't
got
make or grow anything.
so Trump lowering the tariffs right now has more to do with politics than it does with lowering prices.
Yeah, that's the only reason he's backing off of it because he's gotten the price. They've gotten the prices for what they want raised to a particular level of what they want. So now they're telling the puppet to take the tariffs off the table right now. We got enough going on with that. You can take that off the table.
Yeah, because Wall Street been doing fantastic.
Well, Wall Street just almost crashed because of AI, artificial intelligence.
What happened?
Artificial intelligence said that two companies were merging and they didn't merge, and the next thing you know, uh, AI, Wall Street started selling stock wrong, some kind of way, and they lost a lot of money. But then it came back and said they didn't realize what had happened. It was only AI running a test. So go back to where you were before this happened,
Okay.
and that's how they curtailed it and changed the way it was going. So AI had a lot to do with it.
How
So
many how many jobs are at these plants, these big factories that they're building to cool to you know to support AI? You know, because you have to have these all these computer centers. So there are a lot of black
all right,
jobs in those.
let's go back to the Model One Ford plant, with Model T Ford. Then men made every single part that go in that car. They assemble every single part that go in that car. Now there are no men on the assembly lines of I went to the Toyota plant here in San Antonio,
Yeah.
and it's amazing how many major big computers doing that assembly line. It's still
Okay.
on an assembly line where the cars are put on this train track and it's moving probably an inch a minute,
So they're
and
done
and
by
and
computers.
and there and you got to put your parts on when they get there. Now they have machines that bring a tire from a rack and slap it on a car, and another machine that tightens all five lug nuts at one time, and then another machine puts the hood in place, and another machine put the bolts in the hood, the doors. I mean, the trunk, the windows, all of these machines do all of this stuff. And the people just stand there. One now, instead of you having 20 people, you got one person standing there watching the machine. That's it.
Mm.
That's all you got. It's all ran by computer. And that person standing there making sure that that supply line never runs out long as that machine running. And rather than you being able to put one car out every hour, you putting 30 cars out every hour because you use AI to produce your cars. So that's why we got AI in these computers, and now we're extending it on. It's like it's in every single system we use right now.
So
AI, huh?
so if that's true, why are cars more expensive now? If there's less manpower.
Profit. It's all about profit. It's less manpower and more money. The more technology they put into building a car, the more they won't charge you for it because the technology costs a lot. And because they're paying so much for technology, they're going to pay X amount for.
Technology don't need a 401k. Technology don't need health benefits.
No,
Technology don't need all those costs
there you go.
that
And
that a
that's
human.
profit. That all goes now to profit. You no longer use it. If you spend $1 billion to improve this plant and make it a certain way, but that plant is going to produce you 20 billion in the same amount of period, you only would be making 2 billion. Why not? And it produces it in 100 different ways. One by saving, two by health care, two by FDIC charges, taxes,
Y'all,
everything, everything across the board. You're saving by using AI. You're saving because you are not expending all this other thing. Now, see, this started out with what they call value stream mapping. In other words, you're placing every single step that a person does. So when a person comes to your job and wanting to know exactly what you're doing and how you're doing it, what do you think they're doing? They're trying to figure out how to take what you're doing and turn it into an AI situation. For instance, warehousing. You on that forklift going down them aisles picking product that's been ordered, and you're dropping it off at another location. They're training robots now to do all the picking for you. So human pickers are no longer needed. Human stockers are no longer needed. Now, see, just in Walmart works just what they call just in time. Now, logistics is my specialty. I'm a trained logistician. Walmart uses just in time. So what Walmart does every time you swipe a tube of toothpaste across that cash register, it goes up on a board in a distribution center. And no matter what store it is, every store got their own screen. And so every time you swipe, it goes up on that board for that particular store. And if you got 30 registers working and all these items are swiping, it's all popping up on that board. And at the end of the day, they start to stock every item on that board. They issue a stock list to a machine without moving a finger. They just sit without moving a body. They sit there and they type in, send this usage sheet to distribution. It goes to the distribution clerk or the distribution center, maybe a clerk. That clerk assigns it to a computer. That computer pulls every one of those items, stack it in a bin or on a pallet or a rack, and then put it on a dock, and then a truck is lined up at that particular dock for that particular store.
I got a question for you.
Hmm.
Will AI replace the Mexicans at Home Depot?
The ones outside or inside?
Outside.
Never, never, never. Unless you want an AI out there digging your fence post holes, and putting up your
No, I asked that
clean.
for a reason. I mean, I didn't. It wasn't meant to be funny, but we're talking about AI
Mm-mm. No, it
replacing
never
workers.
will.
Yeah.
Discussing Epstein files and tariffs. What was that? I'm sorry, I halfway got it. Let me get back to it. I kind of lost track over here on my YouTube. All right, there we go. Discussing Epstein files, tariff comments, your thoughts. All right, Epstein files, tariffs. I kind of basically broke that down as far as I could with Epstein. We already know that it's a game, and they're playing the game to the max of their ability. That they're going to procrastinate and stall on every level, and people are going to exploit on every level, on every sentence they can get out of it. So it's all about a big reveal. And if there's nothing to hide, to me, everything should be out in the public anyway. But we already know what the contents are. So why keep fussing about it? Because we want it to be transparent. That's why. The second thing is tariffs. We already know that tariffs ran all the prices up on particular items that are owned by particular billionaires or trillionaires. And now that the prices are at the level and the profits are at the level that they expected them to be for the end of the year, then now they can take the tariffs off because we're making what we want to make. And the illusion of all of this is the prices peaked. Let's say they peaked at $5. They were $2 before tariffs. They peaked at $5, and now we lowered them to $3.50. And you think you got to win? That's the whole process. There's no win. The gas prices may be dropping down to $2.50 and below. You think you got to win, but in reality, 6 months later they're going to be $3.50 and below. You're going to go up $1. So they ebb and they flow on a consistent basis for maximizing the profit. It gives you the illusion that you're getting a deal at the gas pump because they want you to buy more at lower prices. And then when they think you're buying it at the level that we want you to, now we shoot the price up, run it for 2-3 months while you study spending at the same level, because it takes 2 or 3 months for you to get it back down to a lower level of expense on gas. And then when you get it back down, now they drop the prices back down for you so you can start spending again. It's a game. And we spend so much money on so much dumb stuff that it don't make sense. We got to stop spending our money stupidly. That's what it boils down to. And when you're seen buying a cart full of toys in your house shoes and a bonnet on your head, you're spending your money stupidly. And I'm sorry if I offended anybody, but I'm being honest with you. I'm telling you to stop. Stop. And don't panic. Because don't allow the TV to send you into a panic and go and put you in a store and you trying to buy all this bull crap because you think you ain't going to have none. You can use newspaper. You can use tablet paper. You can roll it up and ball it up and crumble it up enough so it's soft enough. You can use a white. What did baby use before Pampers came along?
But we got to struggle then, because you got dollar stores, you got Five Below, you even got a new store competing with Five Below, and you know the consumers that shop at. You can't even walk around in a dollar store. It's got so much junk.
And it ain't. It's there, and they don't contribute a penny to our communities.
But
They don't contribute anything. So please stop buying all this cheap, dumb stuff at these cheap stores. Just because it says 99 cents, it ain't 99 cents. Just because it says $1, it ain't $1. Stop buying at these stores.
But how do we tell people to stop that kind of consumerism?
The only thing you can do is just tell people. You can't put a collar around their neck and dog shock them every time they go in there. You gotta just put the information out there, and it's up to the individual to take the initiative to stop being in the condition that they're in. And that is the problem, that you're going to stay in that condition unless you just change. You got to change the situations around you. And you can't change the situations around you without change. And you got to change the money you're spending at dumb places. Stop spending your money stupidly. SSYMS.
Well, materialism. This country was founded on capitalism,
Not
slavery,
materialism, capitalism.
capitalism.
If you don't own land by now, you need to own something. You gotta buy. I mean, I don't care how you get it, you need to own something. Because right now, you're gonna mess around and you are never gonna own anything because America ain't getting cheaper and the systems are not getting easier. So if you don't start now and work with somebody or something to get you something with your name on it, then you're doomed as you stand. You might as well just fall on into the system and be that servant that you've been all your life, which we're here to try and tell you to change all of that because you're not like that. You wasn't built to be a servant. You wasn't built to be out there working in McDonald's. You were built to be a leader, a king, or a queen. And that's what our objective is here at BNN 247, the voice of Black USA, to get you to see that you still got it. Don't give up on yourself and don't give up on your culture. And more especially, don't give up on you establishing and holding down your family. That's your job. That's stuff we got to do, Claude. We cannot panic. We got a budget. We got to set ourselves on a goal for success. And the only way you can do that is stop giving them your money. Think about it. They get your money, and at the end of the day, they go home fat and free and living in luxury.
Yeah.
I'm about to be a rapper. Fat, free, and living in luxury. All because you decided to give them what was yours. You gave it to them for some bull crap, a damn big red soda. Who gives a damn about a big red soda?
What do you think?
But oh, I got to have my big red soda with my chitlins.
Yeah.
I actually heard somebody say that.
I'm always
Somebody said,
amazed. I'm always
huh?
amazed at how much it costs to make a pot of gumbo.
And then you go out and make a. What is the purpose? Are you going out there buying $12 a pound crab
Well,
leg?
it costs $100 or more to make a pot of gumbo. The ingredients.
Yeah, if you know how to make it and you sure everybody gonna eat it, then that's a different thing. As long as you know everybody's gonna eat it, then it's worth making. But if ain't nobody, you on a whim and a prayer, whether everybody gonna eat that gumbo you made, your best bet is don't make it because you're gonna be out of money. And if you don't know what you're doing, don't even start without letting somebody make it that know what they're doing.
Yeah.
You can't make gumbo, don't give it a shot.
Don't
All
give
right,
it a shot.
Claude, we've been on a little over an hour, so give me your final thoughts, and tell me what you think about money.
Well, they say money is at the root of all evil, but it's also at the root of most pleasures.
Yeah.
So so trying to balance the evil against the pleasure is hard for most Americans to do. Uh, you know, money is materialism, the way this country was founded, and the way our people see themselves in this country and see their their value is tied to their possessions. You know, that kind of explains where we are today in terms of the problems that we have in our society, the the amount of debt that we carry, uh, the 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 cost of living is all based on this whole what America is all about. America is about money. America is about capitalism. And regardless of whether you got $10 or $0, you want a piece of that capitalism because it's tied into your identity. We don't have kings and queens and royal families. And to be an American is based on what you got. And poor folks won't to be part of that, just like everybody else. And so, trying to teach people positive habits, savings, investing, versus going out and buying uh, an outfit that costs more than the house that they're living in. It's hard to do because our identity is tied to our self-worth. And our self-worth is based on how we look and what we have. And whether it's bought from the five and dime or Neiman Marcus, you know, it's how we judge ourselves. It's how we see ourselves. Because that's what the world sees. And so that's the impression we want to make in America. And I think as long as we're in America, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a hard sell. And I think the suggestions that we made on this show about what we need to do, I think it gives people some options. They've heard a different perspective. But I think understanding our role in this country and money was made on our backs, literally. Money. When you see a black person, you see money, historically. And so that's the culture that we're in, man. And I think talking about it on our show at least allows people to recognize that reality. And maybe they won't go out and buy that black Santa this year. Or that, I mean, what do we buy for Thanksgiving? You know, that turkey or whatever. And decorate. At Christmas time, you be driving through neighborhoods and see decorations on houses that are about to falling down. Christmas decoration. That somebody
That's
went
right.
out and you see it. Drive through the neighborhood.
I seen it too.
And
I
you
seen
see
it.
Christmas decorations on every conceivable dwelling. But a dwelling that's about to fall down. You see Christmas decoration. That's what capitalism does. That's how strong capitalism is. So that person that lives in what's one of the rich parts of San Antonio?
Mm-hmm. Huh?
You
Digging away the
drive,
hill.
whatever it is, you drive through that neighborhood, you see those people can afford it. Because they're getting money from the people where you
Or
drive
the
through the
median.
neighborhood where the house is about to fall down. Because they bought those decorations from somewhere. They didn't make them. So we have challenges. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and go out and get you a black Santa. I'll leave it.
It ain't happening.
Don't be
I
hating on the
don't partake in that.
don't be hating on the
Yeah,
black Santas.
yeah, that's something. Claude, you hit on some very good points, man. I'm gonna recap with what you said, and then I'm gonna let you go. But I want you to hear when I'm talking about what you said because it's so profound information that you put out just now in that short period of time. You know, the first thing is what that struck me the most is how you said, "How do we see ourselves?" Because the rest of the world see us a certain way too, and we don't need to fit the stereotype of the rest of the world. If they see us as flamboyant and over culturalized by buying dumb things and so we can show our wealth, it doesn't make sense. We got to limit the way we expose ourselves to the capitalistic society here in America, and it's all about what you have. And $10, whether you said something else, whether you have $10 or whether you have $100, you want part of this American society, and you just don't get this American society. It's not handed to you. The $10 can get you $100, and the $100 can get you 1,000. But you have to strategize with that level of input and make it work for you. You know, if you got $10 and that's all you got, you don't invest $10 in one thing. because you don't know what's going to happen. The bottom might fall out of that one thing. You got to diversify. Then you said a house. You went down the street and you see the house about to fall off the dang platform, but it's got Christmas decorations on it. What is the point in spending your hard-earned money to show Christmas lights, to show that you're in the spirit? It's a form of brainwash that you have been subjected to, and it's costing you a lot more than what it really needs to, because it's unacceptable. It is unacceptable for you to be spending money on Christmas decoration when your house is falling off the bricks or falling off the foundation. It's pretty sad that you would take that idea. I mean, it looks beautiful. Don't get me wrong, but it doesn't matter what type of house it is. It's yours, and it looks beautiful. But the fact of the matter is that your belief system allows you to take hard-earned money and spend it on that house. I mean, on Christmas decoration, rather than spending it on that house. You said something about materialism, the amount of materials, the hoarding that we have. I've actually heard a woman say she bought so many pair of shoes because when she was a child, she didn't have shoes. So now you got to go over and above with buying shoes. It doesn't make sense to me. Now you should be more conservative with just buying the shoes you want and buying other people's shoes so they don't spend their childhood without shoes. That just makes sense to me. So the debt we carry, I mean, the average household debt is $7,000 for people in the lower middle class. So I would see that you take a focus on the debt that you have and clear that debt, and not allow your debt to go beyond 30 days. The one problem you got right now, if you got a lot of debt, and if it's X amount of dollars, I don't know what that X is, and you don't feel like you can pay it off in 6 months, then you ain't but one way for you to go, and you know it's going to be painful. You should go bankruptcy. I'm telling you, you got to get out that debt. And that is what's holding you back, because you've been trying to pay that debt off for years and you still ain't done it, and you're not going to do it in the next year. So the only way out is through bankruptcy. Do that bankruptcy, Chapter 11, and handle that 7 years to build your credit. But you got to get out of debt. The debt is what got you. You might as well be a slave on a plantation with debt, because you have no control over your finances. Because every single month when you get paid, you paying off your debt. You spending 2/3 of your income on your debt. And don't let that be 3-4 credit cards. And you know, everybody had go through that credit card thing. I'm older now, so I went through it a lot longer time ago, but I learned my lesson.
Yeah.
And you know, you learn your lesson. And once you learn your lesson, you don't get caught up in that anymore. You stop doing it. It's up to you, though. It's not just going to happen. You also said being American, you are an American. I don't care what they say. You're more likely a Moorish American, or some Cherokee American, or a Choctaw American, or a Seminole American, but you are American. And because you,
Yeah, you're right. I was gonna say.
And because you are American, it's a simple strategy. You want it too. That's what it boils down to. You want it too. Right, Stella? You want it too. Why would you not want it? You're an American, just like everybody else. We got to stop, though, buying in excess. This is what Claude said, and entertainment and services and our self-worth. Those are the items and the comments by Mr. Claude Foster. And I would like to say thank you so much, Claude. Every week we seem to just have such a wonderful time discussing whatever we discuss. And I thank you again and again and again, brother, for being there and joining me in this discussion. So have a great day today and a better day tomorrow. Take care.
Thank you.
All right, brothers and sisters, that was Claude Foster. And I really, really appreciate that brother's support here on BNN 247. I'm no longer live on, well, yes, I am. I'm not going to close out TikTok. I'm going to keep it going because, hey, it's what you pay for. This is BNN 247, the real voice of Black USA, broadcasting live every Sunday afternoon at 3:30 p.m. We don't own the rights to the music, but we do own the rights to what we say, and we broadcast live from a Black perspective. We want you to hear what the rest of the world is hearing, but from a different manner. We're telling you the same thing that they're saying every day, but we dig a little deeper and we make it a little plainer, so we don't end up falling into the trap that they're trying to set for us. If you don't think that all of this is a problem, then I'm here to tell you that we got to do something different, because we are not exempt from what's happening here in America. We're part of it. And it's going to be part of it, we're going to get ourselves in a bigger situation and a worse situation than we've been in thus far. There's no way we're going to take the money that we've made in 11 months and say we're broke. We're still broke. You know, for years, that is. I'm going month after month being broke. The last few days of the month, I'm scrambling. I ain't got no gas in my car, and I'm running all over the place, borrowing this, borrowing that, $20 here, quick cash there. And then as soon as I get my check, I'm paying off quick cash there and the money I borrowed, and I'm broke again 10 days before the end of the month next month. So we got to break that cycle. And once you break that cycle, you feel the eureka of the moment, because you're free. You're free of that debt. That debt is what kills you. Being in debt it is, I'm sorry, did I say that word? I recuse that word. Unalives you. It is so important to me, and it should be important to you, that debt is one of the major reasons our people are marginalized. When we go out and try and buy something, we want to get it on credit. There ain't but one thing you need to get on credit this day and time, and that is a place to live. That's it, a house. No more cars on credit. Or you paying notes. If you got to pay notes, then you ain't ready for that car. You should just be trying to get you a cash car. Why go out and spend your hard-earned money every single month? Your car note is more than your mortgage note or your rent. Who's getting rich? Who's losing? Who can fix it? Only you. Only you can prevent indebtedness. You remember that? Only you can prevent forest fires. Only you can prevent indebtedness. And you start by not allowing yourself to impulse buying every time you go to the store. Be very specific when you walk in a grocery store. Know what you went in there for. You got so much stuff in your house right now that you can just throw out because you ain't gonna never use it. I'm that way. I got junk that I know I ain't gonna never use. I don't even know why I bought it. It just gets on my nerve that sometimes I buy stuff impulsively when I know I ain't gonna eat it or I know I ain't gonna use it, but it looks like it's something I want to use right away, and I don't like it. It happens all the time. It happens all the time. And so I say to you, stop impulse buying, because it does you no benefit. And you get tired of returning stuff back to Amazon or anywhere else that you may be buying from. So stop buying. Just stop. I mean, don't lose your Amazon account because you might have other things associated with it. But, if you don't need it, if it ain't a live and die thing, why buy it anyway? Some people ask me about my logo. Let's take a look at the logo. I like to throw in little things that are a little to ease the mind. You see the two bars going up with the fist on top. That's an I. Look at that as an I. And then you see the M. It looks like an M turned sideways. In actuality, that's two N's. And it forms the B in B in N. You see what I'm saying? The two humps are two N's. It forms the whole letter B. And it makes it B with two N's right there. I don't know what I was thinking, but I thought that made sense. That is the purpose of the logo. It really depicts the entire BNN right there in one symbol. That's what it is. BNN. And the depiction of the fist. Power. Red, the blood that we shed. Green, the prosperity that we deserve. And black, the land that we own. It's ours. I don't care what you say. People are moving right now from the north, black people, and they're moving to Knoxville, Tennessee. They're moving to Tulsa, Oklahoma, and they're moving to Savannah, Georgia. Those are the three top places that people are moving to for the year 2025. Not only black, white people are too. And today is a historical day, which is the last day that a penny will be manufactured. Well, it is either last night or this morning. No more pennies are being made. So somewhere, somehow, some things are going to change in the stores. And what I think is going to change is they're going to raise. And they have the option to either lower or raise. And I guarantee you, everything's going up again because there are no more pennies. Ain't that something? So don't think that this stuff is not by design. It's by design. As I predicted, the Democrats caved, and they did. So, with the Democrats caving on the budget, everybody went back to work, which is always a beautiful thing to see people go back employed, but not the 300,000 black people that got fired from the federal government. They're not going back. Some of them are, but many of them are looking for different careers. That's a lot of people. Many black women lost their jobs from the federal government. So that tells you this. With that many people being removed from an active service, nobody with expertise, not many people with the expertise of that job is being left there at that job. That is a problem. That happened in the Army back in the 80s when Bill Clinton was president. He reduced the military from over 1 million people on active duty to less than 385,000 people. So over 500,000 people were removed from the military in 36, I think it was 36 months, 3 years. 500,000 people left the military. When the 500,000 people left the military, 500,000 pounds of good information left with them on how to operate. Maybe they wanted to get rid of the old and install the new, let the new people learn the system. Maybe the government were doing the same thing. Get rid of them old heads that's been sitting in there sucking up government money for the last 30, 40 years. Now they need to do the same thing they did with the government employees, do that with the Senate, and do that with the House of Representatives. If they've been in there longer than Nancy Pelosi, kick they coon dingies up out of there. All them old 90-year-old people sitting in the Senate holding up progress need to go home. They've been there too long. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired of seeing the same old. So therefore, with Donald Trump as president, I give him kudos for stirring the pot and making things change on whatever levels he make the changes on. I mean, it's going to affect black people just like everybody else. But the fact of the matter is, it is time for a change in our federal government, and that's exactly what he's doing. So he can get rid of every policy, everything that's been created over the last 100 years for black people that he wants to. But the only difference is it's only going to be for 3 years, people. Let him make those changes. Let him go forth with his rapture. It's only going to be for 3 more years. Let him do it. Once he's out, everything that he's changed going to get reversed. We're going to get the affirmative action plan back. We're going to get the Civil Rights Act of 1965 instilled back to its original content. All these different things are going to come back. So don't fret. Don't think that this is a problem we cannot overcome, because we can, and we will overcome all this bull crap that's coming our way. So kudos to you, DT. Keep doing what you're doing. Getting rid of that, getting rid of this, I don't care, because it ain't going to hurt me, and it ain't going to hurt black people, even though the money that you control does. I'm going to go ahead and log off the Black News Network, but I'm going to stay on TikTok on the Black News Network. And now I'm going to invite you to join us on TikTok, all the Facebook listeners, the YouTube listeners. You can meet me on TikTok at BNN247 with a continued discussion, but it's just a little bit deeper when we go over to TikTok. So I would ask you to come on over and join me, and definitely come on live if you can, and let's talk. Let's see what's cracking in your brain. But the topic for today with BNN247 has been to stop and don't panic. You need to control your spending. You need to execute your budget, and you need to keep on living. Keep on living. That is our objective. With that, I want to say thank you so much for being on BNN 247, the real voice of Black USA. And I will look forward to seeing you next Sunday at 3:30 p.m. Have a great day today and a better day tomorrow.